Hi, welcome back to my channel. So, in today's video, we are going to do a recap of the new episode of Riverdale. So, I'm actually not wearing one of my Riverdale shirts today because I actually did not watch Riverdale last night. So, today is actually Thursday, the 18th of March, and Riverdale came out the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I was sick in bed. I stayed in bed literally all day. Took like 3 naps. Um, so I usually watch Riverdale in my parents' room because my TV does not get cable. Um, I mean my room can get cable, but the cable where it can be is under my bed, and my TV is on my desk. So I have a DVD player and I can watch like Netflix, and I can connect things to my computer to watch like Hulu and Disney Plus and stuff like that. I just can't watch like live TV. We also only have 3 DVR boxes in the house: the basement, my parents' room, and then the living room. So my mom said I couldn't lay in her bed um last night, and I just wanted to stay in bed. I really didn't want to get out of bed. I just wanted to stay in bed, and I watched Pretty Little Liars literally all day. Got pretty far too, watching Pretty Little Liars all day. So I did post a video yesterday. It took forever for it to actually upload. I don't know why. I think it uploaded on time. My computer had just like frozen that screen for some reason. Um, So yeah, I didn't watch it. I did watch it this morning, and I did take notes like I always do on my phone. So I'm actually going to be recording 2 videos today because I always post the Riverdale video the day after Riverdale comes out. So I will be posting this video today, so you guys will see it today. I'm gonna record it, edit it real quick, and post it. I can edit my videos pretty quick because really all I do is I keep everything in. I just cut out when I show the back screen because I record via OBS. So anytime I exit um the video screen and go to another thing, I always cut out like the transition and stuff like that because I talk through everything. I don't want to, and I don't. I hate to say this, but when I'm editing, I don't actually watch the whole video. So yeah, so I will be recording 2 videos today, and I'm actually posting 2 videos right now. Currently, the video that's uploading is a better audio of my Degrassi cast challenge video. So what happened was I did Degrassi season 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I recorded them. And because I also do videos where I do a reaction to the next promo for Riverdale, the desktop audio was up loud on OBS. You can adjust how loud I want the desktop audio for you guys to hear. And it was up really loud. It was like almost halfway up. And so when I played The Sims, you guys can hear music, even though if I have the music muted or quiet, you guys hear it louder. So you guys barely hear me talk, and instead of re-recording that whole those whole videos, because some of them were like 5 Sims I recorded, and it takes forever, I decided to just go ahead and post them, and then I recorded a video of me going through each of those characters from each of those seasons and kind of saying what I said before, just quicker. So that video is uploading right now, and then after I finish this video, I will upload this video, which is the Riverdale reaction or review video. And then after I record this video, I'm going to record the reaction to the Riverdale promo, which usually I talk for about less than 15 minutes, sometimes like 10 minutes, because I just watch like a 30-second promo. I watch it all the way through with you guys, and then I break it down bit by bit. And this promo was only Betty talking, so it probably will be a even shorter video. So, and then I post those on Fridays. So on Thursdays I post my Riverdale reaction and review. Fridays I post the trailer review each week. And I believe we have next week's episodes. So next week on the 25th and 26th, I'll post those videos. And then the following week is the last episode until July 7th. So it's going. So March 31st, it's having its last episode until March 7th when it's going on hiatus. And so they might not have a trailer. So I'll definitely do a reaction and review. So you'll get that on April 1st. I promise it's not an April Fool's joke. But there might not be a trailer for the following episode. There might be like one for what's coming up. But if they're going on hiatus this long, they might not have that many episodes recorded. So I'm not really sure. So we'll see. But we definitely have a reaction and review. So I think that's everything I have said. Oh, let me tell you guys my kind of like my schedule, because I actually am a really good YouTuber. I made a schedule. So today, Thursday the 18th, you're getting my Riverdale reaction today, and then I'm recording the promo reaction. And then tomorrow, you're going to get the promo reaction, and then I'm going to record Degrassi Girls Season 13 and 14, which is 4 girls for Season 13 and then 2 girls for Season 14, so it might be a longer video. And then I don't record Sundays or Saturdays at all. I also don't post anything on Sundays and Saturdays. I don't do that because I work. I was going to pre-record a whole bunch of videos this week, but I actually was pretty busy. This is my spring break, by the way. So I was pretty busy this week, and then yesterday I was sick, and the day before that I hung out with my friend. No. Yes. No. Monday I hung out with my friend. Tuesday I was actually pretty busy. I cleaned out my whole closet. That was exciting. And my cats had to get involved. Two of my cats, we have 4 cats by the way. 2 of my cats just had to get involved, and then my door came off the track. It was just a whole thing. And then yesterday I was sick. I was supposed to hang out with my friend yesterday, but I was sick. And then today I was gonna hang out with my friend, but I was actually really tired when I woke up. And I wanted to hang out with her at noon, and we're gonna go to the comic book store because I found a new love for Riverdale comics. But I told her, how about tomorrow? So my friend's coming over tomorrow. So I don't know what time I'll be able to record that video, because I want to interview her for a class project, so I might not be able to record while she's here, but we will we will see. And then Saturday and Sunday I work, so like my spring break is pretty much over now. And it makes me heartbreaking because that means I have to go back to school next week, and I don't want to, because I feel like I'm failing one of my classes. And I mean, if need be, I can just take a 3rd class this summer, but that's more money, and I don't have that kind of money. Classes are like $1,000. Anyway, I'm getting like so off track before I even get into the video. So that on Monday, so next Monday, I'm going to post the Season 13 and 14 Degrassi video. And then I'm actually going to record 2 videos because I am going to be behind if I don't do this. So I'm going to record Degrassi Girls Next Class Season 1 and Season 3. Season 1 added 3 girls, and then Season 3 added just 1 girl. And then I'm actually going to also record another Sims 4 cast family renovation. So I did the Goth family, and I worked on their house. I did 2 rooms in their house. I never posted this. It's now sitting in a folder titled Video Black Hole, that I recorded a whole bunch of videos and just put them in there because I didn't feel like posting them. Really, I didn't feel like editing them. And they were kind of like series. So what I might do, because the families are pretty easy to renovate, and I do all my renovations with like custom content. If you guys ever want me to do like renovations with like Max's Match, like in-game stuff with no custom content, let me know. I will do that, because then you guys could like download them yourselves. But I like playing with custom content, and it just makes them pretty. And then I actually never saved the Goth family to the gallery. I should probably do that. So I'm actually going to make a note. Get a pencil. I'm going to make a note that when I record this is post Goth fam gallery. And I'm going to star it. Okay. So then on Tuesday, you get the next class season 1 and season 2 video. Wednesday, you get the Sims 4 family renovation, and then I'll record my Riverdale reaction because I always record that on Wednesday usually and post it on Thursday. Thursday, you get the Riverdale reaction, and I'll record the promo reaction. Friday, you get the promo reaction, and I'm actually going to record this video that I'm really excited to do, and I'm actually going to probably make it multiple parts. So I'll probably make it a series. Is I'm going to play nostalgic games. Now, a lot of games you can no longer play because Adobe Flash is not a thing anymore, which is weird because some games you can still play because they don't use Adobe Flash. I don't know why Adobe Flash decided to get rid of the games because people still like playing online games. But I downloaded Flashpoint, which doesn't have all the games I used to play. It's missing some escape games. Like if you guys remember Addicting Games, I loved addictinggames.com. And some of those escape games I used to play are no longer a thing, but they're supposed to be added to Flashpoint in one of the updates, so if they ever get added, I'll play them for you. But I did find some addicting games I used to play. I'm also going to play Webkins for you. They actually made a desktop app, so I did download that. I'm going to play some Disney Channel games, some Nick games, My Scene games, and stuff like that. So I might make multiple parts because it's going to be a lot of games. And yeah, it should be a fun day to do that. And that's all I have. So I actually have to make another schedule eventually. But now that I did all of my house cleaning is what teachers call it when they kind of just go over things. I think that's what they call it, house cleaning. Anyway, let's get into today's video. The Queen of Chaos strikes again. A big announcement forces everyone to take stock of their current lives. Cheryl sets a risky plan in motion after learning some surprising news about Tony. Jughead tries to make sense of a strange encounter he had. Kevin and Fangs make a big decision about their future. And someone actually added the whole synopsis. So we have some pictures. I don't know. I love Betty's hair down. It's so pretty, and her hair's a lot longer. But I have a lot. When Jughead's like wearing his clothes, it looks like he's like gained weight. But when he was in the shower scene, he actually had abs. So I don't know if he just gained muscle weight, and it's hard to see under his baggy clothes. But I have a whole bunch to say about Jughead. So this episode was titled Lock and Key, which kind of makes sense because I'll tell you why in a minute. But so it all begins with Kevin. Kevin is actually hooking up with someone at a truck stop. He's hooking up with a guy named Rick, who is a trucker at a truck stop. Which you might be thinking, but isn't he with Fangs? They've been together since they were seniors in high school. Yeah, he is. So Archie, this is actually the episode we see Archie in his fireman gear, except he's just wearing the pants with the hat and no shirt, because as people like to say, the writers would do anything to see Archie without his shirt on. And there's the tea, except this is Dr. Pepper, it's not tea, but both wanted to do that, and I don't like tea, or coffee, really. I mean, I do drink Starbucks, but I get the Frappuccinos because I don't like coffee. Now I'm getting off track. This is what happens when I talk. Anyway. So, yeah, he's in Betty's room. So everyone was right. Yes, he's in Betty's room and they're hooking up. People were like, oh my god, Betty and Archie. Oh. I'm not a real Barchie fan. But they hook up. They've been hooking up since Purgatorio, I think. Right? Or did they hook up in Homecoming? No, they hooked up in Homecoming because Purgatorio, which is the first episode of the Time Jump, we actually didn't see them all together until the very end of the episode. Which I think Purgatorio and Homecoming should have been a 2-hour long episode. I would have seen that. I was trying to read my notes and I'm like, I wrote another body, but I'm like, what does that mean? So they actually, because they're looking for bodies all through the swamp, and they find another body, and it's not Polly. So, But Kevin, we actually see Kevin and Fangs in a steam room, and Kevin, he does not look like the gay boy we once knew. His body, his answer, because Fangs asks, "Oh my God, Kevin, you look great," and Kevin's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with you," because Fangs, oh, I need to stop. This is not what this video is about. But again, Riverdale likes to make their guy shirtless. So it's revealed that Fangs and Kevin have been in an open relationship, except recently, they decided to become in a more closed relationship. So Fangs doesn't know that Kevin is hooking up, or I'm not really. It's kind of confusing because I don't know if they had already entered a closed relationship, but they were in an open relationship. And Kevin wanted the closed relationship, but Fangs wanted the open one because he was on the road all the time. But now, Fangs wants a more monogamous relationship with Kevin. So Ronnie decides that she wants to renovate the Pembroke, which I guess she now owns because technically it was always in Hermione's name. It was never in Hiram's name. So in the divorce, Hermione would have gotten it, so Hermione probably gave it to Veronica. And that's how Veronica's able to live there, while everyone else is living in their childhood home. Jughead doesn't have a childhood home, as we know that the trailer was burnt down. But he's living at the Andrews house, which was basically a second home to him. And that ending when he didn't have any place to go and all of his friends were gone, so sad. But anyway, so Veronica decides to remodel the Pembroke, and she asks Archie to help her, and he asks Eric, who's his friend from the army. So all of the gang is back at the school. You have Veronica and Archie. They're sitting on the couch talking about the renovations. Jughead walks in, says they look good, and then Betty walks in and starts talking to them. And it's very awkward, and Jughead just looks over to her and says, "Hey." And Betty's response is, "Hey." Like, you two dated basically all through sophomore year, all through junior year, and all through senior year, and that's all you got? Because if you guys think about it, even though they broke up a whole bunch of times, they only ever broke up in their sophomore year. They never broke up in their junior year, and they never broke up in their senior year. So I like to say that they were actually together for 3 years. Yeah. Because even though they broke up a bunch, it all happened in their sophomore year. Because season 1 and 2, which is the season 1 and 2, are the only seasons they broke up in. They were all together through 3 and all together through 4. And they actually didn't break up until after they graduated high school. So, yeah. Think about it that way. But that's all they can do is hey. They also live together. So it turns out Fangs is engaged, and Tony is actually is having the baby with Fangs and Kevin, which they never really explained if like who impregnated her. Did they have sex, or did they just like impregnate her? Like, how did this work? I mean, I know how it worked, but like, what was the like, whose biological baby is that, and how are they going to make it work on a birth certificate? Like, because 2 of the parents are going to be at the birth certificate, Tony, and then either Fangs and Kevin, and then one of them is going to have to adopt the baby. So then it's all very confusing. But Cheryl is beyond pissed. Like, I don't know. Because Cheryl, we know, still loves Tony, and the only reason she broke up with Tony is because she didn't feel like she felt like her family was cursed. And I think she expected Tony to wait for her. And honestly, they're going to get back together. I know it. They are. but apparently Tony has a medical condition where it makes it harder for her to get pregnant as she gets older. So I do think if Cheryl and Tony do get back together, Cheryl will be the one to keep the carry the baby. But I just want to. I've never heard of that medical condition where it gets harder for you to have babies as you get older, unless you are like predisposed to get early menopause. Um, so if you guys have heard of that, let me know in the comments. I've never heard of that. Um, so apparently, so Katie Keene calls Veronica, and you actually hear Lucy Hale's voice. If you guys know, Lucy Hale actually plays Katie Keene, so you actually hear her voice. And apparently, Chad is trying to make Veronica jealous by showing up with some hot girl to the jewelry store. So Ronnie decides to make Chad jealous by taking a picture with Archie and Eric while they're renovating the Pembroke. Because that's going to turn out good. So then Cheryl decides that she wants to hold a key party. Basically, this is to kind of wreak chaos between Tony and Kevin and Fangs, because she hates the fact that Tony's having a baby with these men. So she decides to hold a key party, which is supposed to be an older version of Spin the Bottle. So you pick someone's key, and then you get to do whatever you want with them. So, another storyline that's going on is Jughead and Tabitha still investigating the aliens, which I really hope at the end, when they figure this out, they aren't aliens. That would be nice. That would be really nice. So, the anthropology lady comes, and she's talking to them, and Jughead tells her what happened with the lights and everything, and she says, I have a support group, because sometimes you really do see it, but sometimes, a lot of the time, you're blocking something out. So she encourages them to come to her support group. Jughead says no at first, but then he decides to come, and it starts to unlock something in the support group, and so he runs out. Tabitha runs after him, and apparently, so Jughead reveals to her that during his college years, in his early 20s, he did a lot of drugs, jingle jangle, that always has to make a way into Riverdale somehow. So he did a lot of drugs, and he drank a lot, and he blacked out once for a long period of time. So yeah. So one thing I want to mention is I really hate how they're making Jughead, because he wanted so badly to get out of Riverdale, to make something for himself, to go to college, and he went to college, and they haven't said he never graduated, so I do think he did graduate, because that was a big important to him. And then they revealed that he never actually graduated college. I'm gonna rage quit, because like that was so important to him. And now they're making him a drunk, which is something he never wanted to be because of his father. And so I really think, even though Tabitha seems to be helping him right now, I think Betty's gonna come back into the mix and kind of help him, because if you remember, she's the one that got FP to sober up to come to Jughead's 16th birthday party in season 1. So I think she's gonna help him. So then we get to the key party, which actually only takes place the last 20 minutes of the episode, and it was like 2 seconds of the whole episode. So Reggie shows up to the party, because apparently Cheryl invited him. So these are the people who were paired together. So what you do is you pick a key, and then you get to go off with that person for the majority of the night, and you get to do anything you wanted. So Veronica picks Archie's key, while Chad does not like that, so he steps in between Veronica like a jealous freak. Like Hiram, one thing I said when I was watching the episode is, he is Hiram, because if you remember, Hiram hated Archie and took his anger out on Archie because Archie's dad had a relationship with Veronica while Hiram was in prison. So Archie doesn't like how Chad is touching Veronica, and Chad gets really upset, and he's like, yeah, well, Chad's excuse was, she's my wife, and he's like, yeah, so treat her with some respect. and Veronica has to step in between them. It's the whole thing. So Veronica, even though one of the rules is you can't switch keys, Veronica goes and takes Chad's keys and says, "We're leaving." And Cheryl gets mad, and Veronica's like, "Well, call my lawyer," and blah blah blah. So Chad and Veronica leave. So Jughead, who is super drunk at this point, even though I'm pretty sure I only saw him take one drink, and he doesn't play drunk really well, which is what someone said in a comment I read, which is true. I don't like that they're making him a drunk. And so he stumbles up, almost falls, and people see. And so Tabitha says, "I'll take him home," but she was like, "You have to pick a key." So Jughead picks Tabitha's key, and so Jughead and Tabitha leave. So then Eric ends up picking Minerva's key. So Minerva is the painting lady, who was the one who actually convinced Cheryl to wreak chaos. So we don't actually know what they did off screen. So Reggie goes, and he actually picks Fangs' key. You know, one thing I thought, but I didn't actually write down, so I'll get to in a second. Reggie picks Fangs' key, and he's like, "Okay, let's go." And I really wish it was going to be more like them asking people questions, like, "Reggie, why are you on Hiram's side?" But that really wasn't talked about. But he showed up at the party like they were all still friends, even though they literally all hate him. But Reggie actually kisses Fangs, which was super weird. So they leave, and then Kevin picks Rick's key. So yeah, we're back to Rick. So Kevin convinced Fangs to bring someone from his past, from his polyamorous days before they were engaged and about to be married. And Kevin doesn't actually know why he asked Fangs to do this. And so Fangs actually brought Rick, because it turns out that not just Kevin's having the relationship with Rick, Fangs was also sleeping with him, which is kind of weird. So Kevin picks Rick's key. So Betty actually picks Archie's key. And Cheryl and Tony are the last ones standing. And I don't know how Cheryl made that happen, but that was her plan all along. So Cheryl actually takes Tony to a room, and it's a nursery. And Cheryl's like, "You can come live back at Thornhill with me, and we can raise the baby together. And even if Kevin and Fangs are with us, we'll be together." And Tony rejects her and actually says some horrible things to Cheryl, saying that why would she want to come back to this hell house when she was locked up here with Cheryl and her dead brothers. And I'm like, you were never locked in that house. You could have left at any time. You chose to live with Cheryl. And so Tony rejects, and Tony actually ends up leaving. And I think after that, it's going to take a while before Cheryl will be okay. Getting back together with Tony. That was kind of hurtful for Tony to say. And I feel bad for Cheryl. So then Kevin is actually talking to Rick, and they don't actually do anything, but they're talking, and Kevin reveals that him and Fangs have been together for 8 years, which actually makes sense, and they've been in an open relationship for the last 3. And Rick says, well, he's rooting for them. So Kevin comes home, and Fangs actually said that he didn't do anything with Reggie, and Reggie is definitely a straight man. So Kevin reveals that he doesn't want to get married, and he now wants to be in an open relationship, even though he's the one that wanted it closed. So they're no longer engaged. Now, it's not revealed that they broke up. Like, if you're with someone and you're in an open relationship and you decide you want a closed relationship, and now the other person wants an open relationship, but you want to get married, why would you stay with that guy? Even though they are having a kid together. But I don't know. They don't reveal if they broke up or if they're just now in an open relationship, which I also don't like that they did that to Kevin, because Kevin wanted love and he always wanted a relationship. So I don't know. So Archie is with Betty, and they're actually not doing anything because they're kind of, I don't know, but they're not doing anything even though they could do anything because I guess they've already done it. Archie reveals to Betty that he loves Veronica. So Archie and Betty break up, even though they were friends with beneficial relationships, so it's not really a breakup. They just decide to stay friends, which I think is for the best because they were friends for so long, and usually when you start dating a childhood friend, it never really works out on TV shows. So people were really upset that they only explored their relationship together for 3 episodes. But I think it was a good 3 episodes, and I think they had a very mature talk, and him revealing that he loves Veronica was very mature. And I really wanted Betty to say, I still love Jughead. Like, I just wanted those words to come out of her mouth. And the thing is, watching the last couple of episodes, the way that Archie looks at Veronica and the way Veronica looks at Archie, they are definitely still very much in love. She does not look at Chad that way, and he does not look at Betty that way. So, but then they've had more scenes together, and they have a more comfortable relationship together now than Betty and Jughead do. And I don't know if that's just because Jughead feels like Betty abandoned him and everything, and that might be a reason. But I do think Betty and Jughead are endgame. I just think it might be not happen until next season. So we will see. I mean, in Pretty Little Liars, Caleb and Hannah broke up during the time jump, and they actually didn't get back together until season 7. So we'll see. But they decided to stay best friends, Betty and Archie. So Minerva and Cheryl actually end up kissing. So that was really weird because I ship her with Tony. So Veronica and Chad are talking, and Veronica's upset at Chad for what he did. And so Veronica meets up with Archie at the fire station, or El Royale, and she tells Archie that she and Chad are getting a divorce, which was weird. But they have been married for a year, even though we've only seen them together for the past couple of months, I guess, in the show's timeline. But they've been together for a year, or been married for a year. We don't know how long they were together before that. We don't. But I think she realized, come back, she realized how much like her father he is, controlling and jealous. So Archie then tells Veronica about him and Betty entering into a sexual relationship following them returning to Riverdale, which I think was the most mature thing he did. And I like that they're having those mature conversations now than they would have in high school. And him telling Veronica, because he didn't have to, because him and Veronica were together, so he didn't have to. And I think that was really good. But Veronica says, because this is going back to what happened, in high school, and she's saying the past is in the past, and she just wants to look into the future. So then they kiss, which people don't like because, one, they wanted Archie to be together, and two, because well, she's technically still married. She hasn't divorced yet. Now that she's getting a divorce and they seem to be in a relationship now, I don't think Archie's going to happen again. I do think it's always going to be Veronica, and I do think it's going to be Buckhead in the end. Even though if Jughead does end up dating Tabitha, it's only going to be for a little bit. Even if we have to wait till the very last episode of the show, I do think Buckhead will get back together. Because think about it. Again, going back to Pretty Little Liars, because I find these shows very similar. And in an episode I just watched of Pretty Little Liars, the actor who plays Charles was in it. And he played a sketchy character. But Spencer and Toby didn't get back together until, well, even though it says that they got back together in the very last episode of the series, and after they broke up in the time jump, I would consider them not getting back together until the post-series, because it wasn't confirmed in the series, but they were talking about it in the very last episode. So it might be another Spoby moment with Bughead. But anyway, at the very end of the episode, Polly ends up calling, this is actually the second time Polly called in the episode. The first time, when Alice was describing where Polly was, she said it sounded like a spaceship, which so weird. Aliens, no. But Polly calls and she says she's on the lonely highway. And when they get there, they find the payphone that she was calling from destroyed and covered in blood. And that's how the episode ends. So, that is the episode. So let's go read what the next episode is about. School spirit. After the Bulldogs lose several football games, Archie and Veronica come up with a plan to boost school spirit. Jughead turns his attention to a student who he thinks might need his help. Betty seeks guidance from Cheryl after being faced with a difficult decision to make. Finally, Kevin is forced to face a dark moment from his past. I'm really excited to see, one, who Jughead has to help, and if that kid ends up helping Jughead with his drinking problem, and two, what moment from Kevin's past? Which I'm going to have to wait till next week's episode to see, because those aren't anywhere in the promo. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a little longer because the first 10 minutes was me talking about things. But please like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Like, I cannot advise this enough. I only have 9 followers, and I have more on my other channel. If you do want to see my other channel, it's Degrassi Fanatic 1998. That is my other channel. I only have a couple of videos on there. A lot of them are like where are they now type videos of like cartoons that I found when I was younger that I thought was super cute. And then a couple of them are trailers for a series that I was going to do. It was called Degrassi Out of Control, so it was like Degrassi, but it was like in a different universe. But I burnt that and I decided to stick to original Degrassi. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!